Have you ever said something in the heat of the moment, words that felt right when they left your lips, but later you regretted them deeply? Maybe they hurt someone else, or maybe they hurt you. It happens to all of us. Words are powerful. They can build relationships, inspire change, and even spark revolutions. But they can also destroy everything you've worked for, create tension in relationships, or leave you feeling exposed and vulnerable. Now here's a question. How much thought do you put into what you say, especially when you're talking about your ambitions, your feelings, or your future? Do you ever find yourself speaking before thinking, only to realize later that you could have said it differently? We live in a world full of noise, so many voices, so much chatter, and so little of it truly meaningful. We've become accustomed to saying things without considering their long-term impact. But here's the thing. Wisdom doesn't just come from what we choose to say. Sometimes wisdom comes from what we choose not to say. Today, we're diving into an ancient philosophy that's as relevant today as it ever was: Stoicism. This isn't just some dusty set of rules from ancient Greece. It's a practical, living philosophy that helps guide us through life's challenges with clarity and purpose. In this episode, we're going to explore 6 things that a truly intelligent person, one who embodies Stoic wisdom, never says. These principles can transform the way you speak, the way you think, and ultimately, the way you live. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, taught us to use words not just as tools of communication, but as reflections of our character and inner discipline. What I'm about to share isn't just abstract theory. It's a treasure trove of practical, life-changing wisdom that you can apply immediately. So take a deep breath, listen carefully, and reflect on the lessons that follow. This is your chance to elevate your own wisdom and start speaking with purpose, intention, and integrity. Let's start this journey together. 1. I can't do this. It's a phrase we've all said at one point or another, right? The situation feels impossible, the mountain seems too high to climb, and the task ahead seems insurmountable. When we say, I can't do this, we're giving up before we even try. But Stoicism, with its simple yet powerful teachings, reminds us that we always have control over how we respond to challenges. An intelligent person doesn't resign themselves to, I can't. They reframe the situation and say, I can choose how I approach this. Stoicism teaches us that our limitations aren't defined by external circumstances, but by how we perceive them. The challenges we face are not obstacles. They are opportunities for growth, for self-mastery, and for honing our character. Think about it. When we say, I can't, we're surrendering our power. But when we say, I will find a way, we align ourselves with the Stoic mindset of perseverance and resilience. 2. It's not my fault. We all know people who never seem to take responsibility for their actions. When things go wrong, the first thing they do is point a finger and say, it's not my fault. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming others or external circumstances. But this is where Stoicism provides a game-changing perspective. The Stoics teach us that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. In the world of Stoicism, saying, it's not my fault, isn't just avoiding responsibility. It's a way of avoiding the lessons that come with accepting responsibility. When we refuse to take ownership of our actions, we rob ourselves of the opportunity to grow. Consider how much more empowering it is to say, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? That is the Stoic approach to life's challenges. It's about accepting responsibility, learning from mistakes, and turning those mistakes into valuable lessons. 3. I don't have time. How often do we find ourselves saying, I don't have time? As if time is something that just slips away from us like sand through our fingers. In today's world where everyone seems to be busy, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we simply don't have enough time. But here's a powerful Stoic truth. Time is one thing we can always control. When an intelligent person says, "I don't have time," what they are really saying is, "I am not prioritizing the right things." Time, according to the Stoics, is a finite resource, and the way we use it defines the quality of our lives. Instead of complaining about time, Stoics advocate for mindfulness and intentionality, choosing to focus on what truly matters and eliminating distractions that don't serve our higher purpose. Just think, if you shifted your perspective and started asking yourself, how can I make time for what truly matters? You'd find that time expands in ways you never thought possible. 4. I deserve this. In a world that often teaches us to expect rewards and recognition, it's easy to slip into the mindset of entitlement. We work hard, so surely we deserve this, right? But the Stoics, with their focus on virtue and self-control, offer a powerful antidote to this way of thinking. An intelligent person never says, "I deserve this," because they understand that life isn't about what we deserve. It's about how we respond to what we are given, how we handle challenges, and how we show up as our best selves, regardless of external validation. Entitlement only breeds dissatisfaction, but gratitude and humility open us up to life's endless opportunities. When we say, "I deserve this," we focus on an external reward that may or may not come. But when we say, "I will continue to work toward what is good and virtuous," we align our actions with Stoic principles, focusing on what's truly within our control. 5. This is unfair. At some point, we've all been there. Something happens that feels unjust, a setback, an injury, a missed opportunity, and our first impulse is to declare, "This is unfair." But Stoicism teaches us a vital lesson here. Life is not about fairness. Life is about how we respond to the circumstances that come our way. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius understood that fairness is a concept we impose on the world. The world is indifferent to fairness. It simply is. What matters is our response. When we stop viewing life through the lens of fairness, we stop becoming victims of our circumstances, and we begin to see each challenge as an opportunity for personal growth. Instead of saying, "This is unfair," try asking yourself, "What can I learn from this? How can I use this challenge to build my character?" 6. I can't help it. How many times have we found ourselves saying, "I can't help it"? Whether it's in response to an emotion, Stoicism teaches that we always have the power to control our reactions. Emotions are natural, but they are not forces we are helpless against. When we say, "I can't help it," we are abdicating responsibility for our own actions. But an intelligent person, grounded in Stoic wisdom, knows that they have the power to choose their responses. Instead of saying, "I can't help it," take a deep breath, pause, and choose your reaction. In doing so, you align yourself with your highest values and your deepest purpose, and you begin to live a life of greater self-mastery. Conclusion. As we wrap up today's discussion, remember that words have immense power. In fact, they have the power to shape not just the way others perceive us, but the way we perceive ourselves. The Stoics remind us that we don't have to say everything that comes to our minds, and we don't have to succumb to impulsive reactions. An intelligent person, someone who understands the power of their words and actions, chooses them wisely. By practicing these 6 Stoic principles, avoiding phrases like, "I can't do this," "It's not my fault," "I don't have time," "I deserve this," "This is unfair," and "I can't help it," you'll find yourself living more intentionally and more powerfully. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them, mastering them, and using them to build a better life. Take a moment to reflect on what you say every day. Notice the words that come out of your mouth and ask yourself, are they empowering you? Are they leading you toward a life of meaning, growth, and wisdom? Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. Take these lessons with you and start speaking with purpose.